Good evening, humans. Tyrannosaurusmoth here, and tonight we're taking a look at the Medicom MAFEX number 131 Gambit figure from Medicom Toy. Every once in a while as a collector, as you go along collecting, you come across figures that might redefine, or to put more accurately, help you more succinctly define what you are actually looking for in whatever it is you're collecting. In this case, toys. And for me, this Gambit is absolutely one of those figures. Gambit is one of my favorite favorite characters of all time, and this I honestly can't think of stuff I would. There's like one or two things that I tweak, but overall for me this is the perfect figure version of this character. So yeah, let's get right into this review. Let's do this. Aesthetically speaking, this version of Gambit is damn near perfect. And this is where the tweaks I mentioned before come in, the two small tweaks that I would make. And those are honestly only because I saw other people bring them up and then I started to think about them. So I'm gonna get them out of the way right here. And the first one is the jacket color, which is kind of light, but is definitely in line with the animated series and some of the comics. But this is because I saw someone on Instagram who had dyed the jacket with a RIT dark brown fabric dye to make it more like the Marvel Legends jacket, and it looks really sharp. So something to keep in mind, it's an option if you want to do it. I'm not gonna touch mine just because I love it, and you know, I'm gonna stick with it. Second part is the eyes, where those of us, these are clearly just, you know, completely red. Those of us who are Gambit stands know that he is generally represented with black sclera and then the red iris. So, you know, it still looks absolutely fantastic, and I don't care that it's not that 100% accurate, because everything else here is just perfect. Proportions to the body, the jacket itself, it sits right. It is completely wired, so you can make this jacket do anything you want to get the jacket off. Probably easier with the hands off, so I'm going to kind of slide those here, the hands back on. The under jacket part is absolutely perfect. So again, the colors are just spot on. Proportions are great. You get that kind of just really good look to the face. The hair has that just impossible bouffanteness. The metallic sheen to the magenta and the blues is just, it's delicious. And yeah, I couldn't ask for more. Sculpt just looks absolutely fantastic. And I mean, putting it against the Marvel Legends, like, you know, I thought at first I liked these shades better, but you know, now that I see it next to this, no comparison in my book. So absolutely just phenomenal. So as you can see, Gambit comes with an absolute ton of accessories, so let's not waste any time and jump right into this. First thing we get is his staff, cast in the teal metallic plastic that his boots are. Looks super nice. Then we get some effects pieces, and first things we're getting are these kind of little kinetic flares. These go right on the staff itself. They just port right into the bottom, as you would suspect they would. Get them in there, so there you go. There's your staff with the effects pieces. Then we get a couple of cards. So we get a single card, single charge card with a little kinetic trail. Then we get two cards, spaced ever so slightly, with some really large kinetic flame, which is really cool. And those fit into some of the hands here. I'll get to those in a minute. Then we get two very large arcs. One not quite as charged, so it's a little bit lighter. And then we have the large, huge kinetic charge arc, which is really, really cool. Then we move on to hands. So right out of the box, equipped, you just get a couple of fists. And then I love this, and this is something that's kind of selling me here on MAFEX, or MAFEX, however it's pronounced, is that all the spare hands come on these little sprues, and that just makes it so much easier to keep together. I wish every company did this. So then we move on to a couple gripping hands for his staff. And then we get a couple different styled hands. These are for holding the cards. You can see these right here. Actually that doesn't make sense because one's not even in the finger, but you can come here. There you go. So you get that one, and then you can put the single card in this one. So really nice, really well done. Then we get two kind of relaxed hands. Those can also hold the double cards or the single card. And then we get two sets of splayed out hands. We get our standard ones, just normal splayed out, and then we get splayed out with some pegs here, and those are for these large arcing pieces, which have holes in the bottom of them, or at the top of them rather, and those are so those can hold them, obviously. Not only that, but they are weighty, certainly compared to the figure, so you get a stand to hold the other end of the arc to help you with that. And then you get another stand for Gambit himself, and I am always a fan of getting extra figure stands, so it gives me extra display options. Then finally we got the heads. So equipped out of the box, we get just suave, very just straightforward, kind of not really anything in particular expression. And then we get our gridded teeth. So really nicely done. Again, hair looks absolutely fantastic. We even got a little bit of stubble there. Eyes are all red. Again, it'd be cool if they did the black scleras, but you know, absolutely not going to complain. So that's accessories. When it comes to articulation, we have just as much going on. So let's break that down now, going top to bottom as we always do. So our head and neck are both on ball joints. So we get absolutely phenomenal down, incredible up, just insane side to side. So you got like full, well, and the head came off. And yeah, as you can see, you have that barbell joint, but this one, as other reviews I've seen of MAFEX figures, this is a common feature. So depending on how much range you want to get, make sure that is facing the way you want to. It's just going to give you a different set of options. So coming down to the shoulders, we have the kind of ball joint, butterfly joint. So you can come all the way around. It gives you just this phenomenal amount of motion. It's absolutely fantastic. And then we come down, we have our bicep swivel. We have double jointed elbows, which fold completely in half. Then we have a ball hinge on both of the wrists. As we do with some of these higher end figures, figure arts do the same thing. So really hands are gonna go any way you want them to. Then we have a ball joint in the diaphragm. So not a crazy amount of range. However, when you mix that with the ball joint at the waist, fantastic crunch, phenomenal back. So again, it's them working in conjunction, and that's kind of where the engineering for these figures comes in. Then we come down to the hips themselves, and we do have drop down hips, which give us full on splits. Not like a straight line, but still complete, just great. You know, and again, you actually got, even without bringing the hip down, you still get some really good range there. Then we come down to the knee, we're double jointed, and we're coming up to about there because of the sculpt. And then same thing for the feet with the wrists. We have that ball hinge, and for that, in terms of your rocker, you have rocker anyway, but if you want to get a more extreme tilt, you can just you can see the hinge is kind of more on the side now, and that's going to give you that. Not only that, but we have toe point as well. And one last point I'm going to make is I did this without the jacket just so you could see everything actually in motion. However, the jacket barely, if at all, hinders any of this. So there you go. That is articulation. Getting into how MAFEX Gambit sizes up, here he is with some Marvel Legends X-Men characters, with some Hasbro stuff, with some other imports, with some monsters, finally with an articulated Icons Oni, and yours truly in human form as an articulated Icons Ninja. So my final thoughts on MAFEX Gambit is that this is honestly as close to a perfect figure as I personally have ever experienced. And I say that without a hint of hyperbole, because I love this thing. Everything from the feel of the figure, the articulation, the soft goods being perfect, just, it's so good, and I honestly cannot recommend it enough. This is the ultimate example for me of you get what you pay for, and every dollar feels like it was put in wisely. So as far as I know, it's sold out in a number of places. It certainly is a Big Bad Toy Store. So if I can find it online somewhere, I will definitely be putting links in the description below to where you can find your own. And hopefully I find something, because I want to help people out. If not, then eBay and the secondary market are going to be the only place you can get them, and I wish you luck if that is the case. So beyond that, I want to thank you so much for watching. I hope you found this review entertaining and somewhat informative, or reverse that, informative, somewhat entertaining. Whichever one you found this, or hopefully both. I hope you consider liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, all that good stuff. And yeah, if you really want to help the channel in other ways as well, I do have ways, and there'll be links to those in the description as well, which I now have said a few times. So yeah, thank you so much for watching one last time, and I hope you take care of yourself, take care of those around you, and most importantly, stay weird, simians.